Tonight at 6, the jury is set as 3 former Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's arrest face federal civil rights charges.
Plus, a big check for Minnesotans, why Governor Tim Walz thinks it could happen.
And how much can you trust your at-home COVID test? A look at the data and advice from experts.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Briggs LaSavage. Thanks for joining us. Jury selection wrapped up today in the federal trial of 3 fired Minneapolis police officers facing civil rights charges in the George Floyd murder case.
All 3 were at the scene when Derek Chauvin killed Floyd by kneeling on his neck for more than 9 minutes.
Mola Lenghi reports from the federal courthouse in St. Paul.
Thomas Lane, J. Alexander King, and Tu Tao are facing charges for their part in the deadly arrest of George Floyd. The 3 men are accused of willfully depriving Floyd of his civil rights, while their colleague, Derek Chauvin, kneeled on his neck.
Find the defendant guilty.
Courtroom cameras captured the moment Chauvin was convicted of murder last year, but this trial will not be broadcast. Attorney and legal analyst Joe Tamburino.
What is the defense's argument?
The defense's argument is twofold. Number one, that they did not willfully try to violate the rights of Mr. Floyd. And secondly, that they had no part in what Mr. Chauvin was doing.
Video of the deadly 2020 encounter shows the 3 defendants at the scene as Chauvin kneels on Floyd's neck. Lane and King had been patrol officers for less than a week. At the heart of the case is whether the defendants could and should have tried to stop Chauvin. At least one juror has already been excused after saying he made a personal choice to stop watching the video of Floyd's arrest. Floyd's partner, Courtney Ross, says the 3 officers are as responsible as Chauvin.
They all took part in this. They all killed him.
The former officers have all pleaded not guilty. If convicted, they could face up to life in prison. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, St. Paul, Minnesota.
The 3 officers also charged in state court with aiding and abetting both murder and manslaughter. That trial is scheduled to begin in June.
Charges will not be filed in an Iron Range death. The St. Louis County Attorney's Office announced that decision today. Ryan Moats died in June after a fight in the Pine Mall courts in Virginia. Court documents show he and another man wrestled and swung at each other. A bystander used a stun gun to try and stop them. Moats walked away and was later found dead in his truck. A medical examiner determined meth and stress from the fight caused Moats' death. They also ruled his injuries from the fight were not life-threatening.
The governor wants to get some of the state's nearly $8 billion surplus back into the hands of Minnesotans. Governor Tim Walz visited a Twin Cities Technical College today while talking about his Move Minnesota Forward budget proposal. It earmarks $700 million in direct payments of up to $350. 2.7 million Minnesota households would qualify. He also wants to give frontline workers hero pay for their efforts during the pandemic while cutting taxes for families, especially around child care costs.
COVID was incredibly hard, and it put financial and other hardships on families. One of the things that we're going to propose is we want to get checks out to people right away and put them in their hands. We'll send those checks out, and I would encourage the legislature to do so as quickly as possible.
Walz's proposal includes money for workforce development, expanding educational opportunities, increasing broadband access statewide, and support for farmers and livestock producers. It needs legislative approval to move forward.
Wisconsin's governor joined lawmakers and advocates today in calling for the state to defend reproductive health care. Governor Tony Evers asked lawmakers to pass a state Senate bill. It would repeal old laws banning nearly all abortion access. Roe v. Wade nullified the laws, but if the Supreme Court overturns it, those old rules go back into effect. The High Court is currently considering abortion bans in Texas and Mississippi. Their ruling could have a major impact on people's access to reproductive health care. Evers says his goal is to protect that access. The GOP-led Wisconsin legislature has introduced their own abortion bans, so Evers' push is dead on arrival.
Dave joins us now for a quick look at the weather. Dave, I don't think I'm alone in saying this, but my car really struggled to get going this morning. I did too as soon as I saw what temperatures we were dealing with out there.
Well, since you are here right now, I assume it did start eventually.
It did. It got there.
We weather people can predict anything, or at least half the time. Anyway, let's talk about all the time this morning. It was cold across the board. Coldest spot, Big Fork, 31 below. These are actual air temps, not that wind chill business. 30 below in International Falls and Hibbing. Into Wisconsin, the cool spots ran from Siren towards Hayward at 20 below. And in the UP, it got to 10 below for our friends in Ironwood. And it's going to be cold again tomorrow. Not as cold, perhaps, as this morning, 20 to 30 below for a lot of towns, but 10 to 20 below, that's coming across, and the winds will be picking up even into the UP tonight. So there is a wind chill advisory for all zones until 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Bundle up if you're heading out and about indeed. Short-term forecast, well, it shows here in the Twin Ports, our low temp should drop to about 15 below. Clear to partly cloudy sky as Arctic high pressure continues to dominate the scene. But then the scene changes on Friday. A low from the west comes in. The clouds go up. Temperatures go up, and precip could come down. With a high of 15 above, we've got at least a 60% chance for light snow, and we'll talk about how light means coming up in more detail in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. We've all seen the long lines and overbooked appointments at COVID-19 testing centers like the DEC.
Yeah, with sparse testing availability and an Omicron wave that experts warn could get worse, some people have turned to at-home tests for quick and easy results.
But just how accurate are those at-home tests? CBS3's Quinn Gorham explains.
Nothing is easier than strolling into your local pharmacy, grabbing a test off the shelf, and being on your way. Dan Suler with Grand Itasca Hospital says those at-home tests are a great way to know if your symptoms are from COVID-19.
The antigen tests are kind of a game changer for us. They're the tests that you can do at home. What they do is they pick up a portion of the COVID virus.
Each of these at-home test kits contains a test strip with COVID-19 antibodies already on it. Now, when you take your nasal swab and you insert it into this solution right here, it breaks down all the cells and other particles present, leaving only the antigens behind. Apply that to the strip, and you'll get those antibodies binding to any antigens present. If that happens, you get a thin blue line indicating a positive test. But the tests aren't a surefire way to make sure you're in the clear.
You have to have enough of the virus in your system for this test to pick it up. So that's one of its limitations.
According to Susan Vituli with St. Louis County Public Health, PCR tests are more reliable when you're asymptomatic. She says those tests can detect much smaller amounts of the virus since they use genetic material instead of proteins.
You have to sort of look at the details of each circumstance. But so you sort of start with, am I symptomatic at this moment? And then if yes, then do a rapid test. If no, then maybe your best course of action is the PCR.
But Suler says regardless of any testing results, it's important to practice other safety measures as well.
Getting vaccinated, boosted, wearing a mask, washing hands. It's 2 years into this, and they still work very well.
If you believe you've been exposed to someone with COVID-19, experts recommend waiting 3 to 5 days from your exposure before taking a test. Again, if you're asymptomatic, a lab PCR test is most likely to provide accurate results.
Itasca County is hoping you'll join in on a regional effort to honor those on the front lines of the pandemic. It's called the Blue Light Project. County leaders are asking residents and businesses to light their buildings blue between January 24th and the 31st. They hope it will spread some cheer during a time of ongoing pandemic stress. Itasca County Public Health says COVID-19 trends in the area continue to get worse. The county reported 557 new cases over the past 2 weeks and 2 additional deaths. They're encouraging everyone to get vaccinated and follow the CDC's guidelines.
A top Minnesota health leader and a key player throughout the pandemic is retiring. Chris Ersman is the state health department's infectious disease director. She plans to step down on February 2nd after 30 years in public health. Along with leading the state's COVID response, she also worked through a measles outbreak, Ebola, H1N1, and the state's response to 9/11. There will be a national search for a new director.
Hundreds of Minnesotans are taking advantage of free certified nursing assistant training. We first reported about this partnership between the state and HeartCert last month. They're using $3.5 million in federal COVID relief funding to pay for students' tuition, textbooks, and exams. The goal, help staffing shortages in long-term care facilities and veterans' homes during the pandemic. 500 people are taking part, and state officials say nursing assistants are the 6th highest in-demand job in Minnesota right now, and they earn about $37,000 a year.
Wisconsin is making its push to keep kids safe and in school. Today, the state announced a new campaign geared toward health and safety measures for kids. Since the end of August, Wisconsin children have made up more than 1/5 of the state's new confirmed COVID cases. One doctor with the UW Health System says the vaccine will prevent long-term health problems for children if they contract the virus.
So there was a recent MMWR report that showed that there is an increased incidence of children being diagnosed with diabetes after having a COVID-19 infection.
The state's 7-day average of new cases has also reached a new record, surpassing 18,800. Statewide, hospitals are down by 115 the past week.
Still to come on Live Local, CBS3, pandemic recovery and dealing with mental health. That's the goal of the new candidate for the St. Louis County Board. How she plans to do it next.
Normal high temp this time of year is 20 degrees. That's actually up a degree. So we've crossed that threshold where the daily average now starts to go back up again. A sign that spring is on its way in, maybe 4 or 5 months, because it's going to be cold again tomorrow. It could be going 10 to 20 below. And another wind chill advisories on top of that. We'll talk about the cold hard facts coming up after our break.
I'm telling you, you should open a business.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
I've got an idea.
I hope you like it.
I love it. Just one question. What's that?
It's a chair. New plan. You make the furniture, I make the ideas, NBC makes them happen.
That was always the plan.
Bring us your best ideas. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Do you experience neck pain or suffer from chronic headaches? Northland Anesthesia Associates offers pain injections for these trouble areas. NAA provides a customized treatment plan to achieve the best outcome and highest patient satisfaction. Call today for the relief you deserve.
The big in-stock winter blowout sale is on at Slumberland Furniture. Get year-end savings on everything in stock. Over 20 different sofas in stock and ready to go. Over 50 accent chairs and recliners, too. In-stock items can be in your home really fast, even just a few days in some areas. Plus, save an extra 30% off all clearance items in store. Huge store-wide savings. Everything is on sale and shipping is free. The big in-stock winter blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
Hi, John from Prime Appliance. It's inventory clearance time and every appliance has been marked down. And now's a great time to buy because prices are going up everywhere you look. Save over $600 on these GE 28 cubic foot door-in-door French door refrigerators in slate, black slate, or stainless, now priced to move only $28.99. Financing always available. Set up delivery or take it home today. Prime Appliance, it's the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
Find the home of your dreams with Homes by Edmunds. Whether you're buying or selling, trust Duluth's oldest real estate company, Homes by Edmunds, LLP. Sunday mornings at 10:30 on CBS3.
Don't let the weather ruin your day. Dave Anderson, Peter Kevitkauskas, and Bo Fogel. The CBS3 weather team, tracking more than just severe storms.
What a delightful surprise.
Mr. Lundy is selling makeup. He's even got one of those pink Cadillacs.
A pink car in Texas. Bold choice.
I think I'd be good at it.
You should be advertising the product and you're not wearing any.
I suppose I could put on a little more.
Mom, I know what I want. What happened to your face?
This is for my new job.
Is your new job fighting Batman? Because you look like the Joker.
A New Young Sheldon, tonight at 8, 7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
CBS3 News is brought to you by Fond du Lac Casino. CBS3 weather is brought to you by Lake Superior College. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, it was pretty chilly this morning. It'll be brisk again tomorrow morning, just not quite as cold. Still cold enough tonight for a wind chill advisory now for all zones, the UP included. Come Friday, temperatures will start to go up as cloud cover goes up as a low from the west replaces an Arctic high, and light snow could arrive tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll show you a chart on how much snow that means in just a bit. Then for the weekend, once the snow goes, Arctic high pressure comes back again, but this one will be cool rather than cold. And Saturday may be tolerable with above zero temperatures, both for the low and for the high, but that will not last much longer than Saturday itself. First, though, we talk about what's going on right now here on Thursday at Duluth International Airport, and it's dipped back below zero, now 2 below with a clear sky. So that clearing is going to allow, of course, extra cooling tonight, and it gets brisk again. Wind right now is westerly, southwesterly, 7 miles per hour, and even that's enough to give us a wind chill factor of 15 below. Do keep in mind we all face a wind chill advisory during the overnight till about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Relative humidity, that is 57%, and current regional temperatures go from 12 below in Hibbing to 11 below in International Falls to 6 below for our friends in Cloquet. Into the Wisconsin side of life, we have 7 below for LaPointe, so it's not always the warmest there. 1 below in Superior, 7 below in Watersmeet, and 10 degrees below zero in Ironwood. General range of low temps here tonight, roughly 10 to 20 below for the actual air temp, and the wind chill factor could be in the 30 below range, hence the advisory for all zones. Doppler map. We'll start with the local picture here, and with Arctic high pressure in place, clouds tried to breeze in earlier today, but they've been pretty much flattened out thanks to the assault of Arctic high pressure that's got pretty much the entire middle part of the country covered here with colder conditions. But again, like I mentioned, that changes tomorrow as a low pressure system from the west comes our way to bring us that snow chance. So how much snow? I think light stuff by our standards. Most zones will be going about 1 to 3 inches. The 3 is more likely pretty close towards Orr, 2.9 there. The 1 or so more likely in Mellon, and everybody else in between. Then, our high pressure cell from today, it does fade away, which, like I've been mentioning here, allows our low from the west to come in for Friday, but already that goes away come Saturday, and there's that next cell of high pressure bringing in the cooler conditions once again, back below zero by Sunday morning. Tonight, below zero indeed. Minnesota low temps about 10 to 20 below, clear to partly cloudy sky. Wisconsin, Michigan low temps, 13 to 20 degrees below zero there with another clear to partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow's daytime highs, though, under a cloudier sky, not too bad. Wisconsin, Michigan, 15 to 17 degrees above zero. Do keep in mind we have a chance for light snow in the afternoon and evening. Minnesota gets that chance as well. It's a 60% shot. High temps 15 to even 20 above. That's the day to get out and do some outside chores, indeed, because it gets a little bit cool once again. Saturday's not too bad, with a morning low of 2 above, but the daytime high tumbles back to 10 above. That's a sign that that cooler high pressure cell is coming in from Canada. Sunday, 10 below, 7 above, back onto the cool side here. Another snow chance comes around on Monday with a bit of a reprieve in temperatures again. But after that, come Tuesday, it gets brisk for Tuesday and Wednesday, 15 to 20 below for the morning lows. That in turn followed by the yo-yo, the roller coaster back up to 18 above by next Thursday, which some of us will hope is a sign of a warm spell to stick around a bit.
I hope so. We have all this ice, we have all this snow. We need to be able to enjoy it without our...
Save on the heating bills a little bit.
Yes,
You know?
that's a good point, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
A lifelong Duluthian is running for the St. Louis County Board.
Annie Harla announced her campaign for the board's District 1 seat today. That covers the Park Point, Hillside, Chester Bowl, and Duluth Heights neighborhoods. Harla previously served on the Duluth School Board and now co-owns a video production company. If elected, she wants to help people recover from both the pandemic and ongoing mental health struggles.
Then I also am looking at opportunity. How are we looking at expanding our economic opportunities so that we have a local, national, and global presence as a county? And then how do we maintain core services? How are our roads and bridges continuing to stay strong? And how do we keep people connected in our public health system?
Frank Jewell currently holds that District 1 seat, but he recently announced that he's not running again. No other candidates have entered the race yet. The seat will be on the November ballot.
Kevin Moore joins us now for a look at what's going on in sports on this Friday Eve.
Yeah, I've learned two things. Well, I learned more than two things, but one, start your car in the morning because
there you go.
I
let it run.
I didn't start one Saturday, but let it run this morning. And two, UMD hockey players and awards go together like poutine and a hockey game. I feel like we're always talking about a new UMD player coming up for an award. This time, it's goaltender Ryan Fandy, plus how Matt LaFleur feels about the chilly forecast for the Packers playoff game this weekend. Sports is next.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChevy.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChevy.com, a better way to buy.
I checked out a bunch of other schools around the area, and really it came down to like the staff, the machine shop here. I went to the open house, talked to a lot of different companies from around here, and just chose that this would be a really good program to get started in.
You can have a great time out at Fandy Duluth and get paid for it. From frontline customer service to something more technical, your new career could be right in downtown Duluth. Stop in during business hours or go to our website to find job listings and apply.
At Humana, we believe your health care should evolve with you. And part of that evolution means choosing the right Medicare plan for you. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you are covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits, but you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums and still not get prescription drug coverage. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits. You get all this coverage for as low as a $0 monthly plan premium in many areas. Humana has a large network of doctors and hospitals and telehealth coverage with a $0 copay. So call or go online today and get your free decision guide. Discover how an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan could save you money. Humana, a more human way to health care.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-476-5600. That's 1-800-476-5600 now.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it. Being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
UMD goaltender Ryan Fandy has been impressive this season, and now he's being recognized for his performance. Fandy was named to the Mike Richter Award watch list today, awarded annually to the top goalie in D1 men's hockey. The Thunder Bay, Ontario native is one of 28 goalies on the list. He's also been named to the Hobie Baker Award watch list. Fandy currently ranked 6th in the NCAA in save percentage and 6th in goals against average at just over 1.5 goals a game. UMD also announced a new temporary policy for their home athletic events. They'll now require proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test for people over the age of 5, and in accordance with the city of Duluth, masks are required at all events as well. Packers back at work today preparing for Saturday's divisional round matchup with the 49ers. It's the 5th meeting between friends Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan, who also coached together in Washington in 2013, along with Rams head coach Sean McVay. And this isn't the first time these two friends met in the playoffs. We just have to go back 2 years ago. In the 2020 NFC Championship game where San Fran cruised into the Super Bowl, LaFleur took the two, including weak 3 this season in San Francisco. That included what looked like an icy handshake between the two following Mason Crosby's game winner. Both said it's all good, so familiarity doesn't breed contempt, but it does help with preparation.
We're pretty familiar with each other, so there is, I would say, certain things that we know we want to do in every phase. Just kind of anticipating that this could happen. We spent some time on them last week. You know, that's just the respect that we have for that team, knowing that that they were as capable as anybody to get to this point.
Today he was asked about dealing with the elements.
Pat, how did your guys handle the cold this week? And was there anything that you normally would have done outside that you just decided to move indoors just because of the cold?
Was it cold out there, Rob?
My hands are just, I can barely type.
I don't know. It felt like Green Bay to me.
Kickoff is set for 7:15 on Saturday night. Forecast that's calling for single-digit temps and a chance of snow. And, of course, it's Thursday, which means Week 8 of Thursday Night Face-Off. We've got another packed night of highlights. We'll take you around the Northland with 4 high school games on the docket, including the #1 ranked Hermantown Hawks. And speaking of those Hawks, if you don't want to go out in the cold but want to watch some hockey, My 9 has you covered. The 14-1 Hawks hosting the 4-10-1 Superior Spartans. Bob Cohn and Reed Larson have your call from Hermantown Arena at 7, and I'll have those highlights on Thursday Night Face-Off tonight at 10.
Right,
with
fun.
no Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, he's
very fancy way.
not phased by the cold temps, huh?
Tough guy.
Feels like Green Bay.
He's no Bud Grant, though.
Isn't he from like the South
true.
or something, Matt LaFleur? I feel like he came here from...
He's from France. On
That's what I get with my last name, too, Le Sauvage.
Yeah.
Some people try to get real fancy with it. But, yeah, Bud Grant. We're, I believe it was short sleeves or shorts on the day of that really cold game at TCF Bank one time.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
No, sure can.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the Two Harbors City Council held a 7-minute meeting tonight discussing the mayor's recent communications on his Twitter account regarding investors for a new city project. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, we'll take a deeper look into the mayor's recent proposal and find out why it has some city councilors scratching their heads.
Another cold night ahead of us, Dave.
Yeah, wind chill advisory is covering our entire area, so actual air temperatures will be going about 10 to 20 below, and throwing the wind chill on top of that, we run into totals that'll go towards 30 below. So whether you're in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or the UP, bundle up if you have to go out and about. Well, what do we have coming for the rest of the week? A couple of small breaks from the cold. Sure, tomorrow morning will be pretty chilly, but in the afternoon we perk up to 15 above, and that's because clouds will thicken as a low pressure system brings us a 60% chance for 1 to 3 inches of snow Friday night till about midnight or so, maybe pushed into a little bit of Saturday morning, but Saturday itself partly sunny and 10 above. Come Sunday, back below 0, high only 7 above. Another chance for light snow hits us Monday, followed by a cold snap that comes cruising in for Tuesday and Wednesday, followed in turn by what may be a mild spell by next Thursday.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.